of Unit 4. If you see here, I already draw the box here. This part is 2D array. You just learned the concept. This 2D array has 4 rows and 18 columns, so 4 by 18. Then you can see every single cell has a JText field object. Now let's think about those things. You need to complete, randomize, find the total, find the aces, find the hardest whole. Now there are 2 find the hardest whole methods. You need to finish those methods in your scorecard. If you see the randomize, you are going to go through every single cell. So 4 by 18 cells, then you are going to give random integer. Then if you want to find the total, you are going to go. This find the total is actually for each row sum. So this X represents row number. It means the number of aces, so number of ones. For each player, that means each row you are going to count number of ones. Then find the hardest hole with X will be hardest hole for each player. So this X is also represents a row number. But when you want to find the hardest hole, it's an every column sum. So which has the highest column sum will be the hardest hole. Looks like hole number 6 has a sum of 13. And like this one is the hardest hole. So at the last method, it probably needs to return number 6. So hole number 6. This is the given code. If you look at here, there's an array with the size of 4, so it looks like number of rows. Then for each row, this one is calling find the total method, that is finding row sum. So I can say this one is finding row sum. For each row, you're going to find the sum, then it returns. Then you are going to store into temp x. Then when you're going to deal with the temp x, you are going to show this value on the array x. What is array x? If I go back to the picture, this is the array x. Let's just see here, total score with 46. But this is what array x has. So array is a label which is for row sum. Then if I go back to the code, you can see, oh, there is a minimum. So after you find all the sum for each player, that is a row sum, then you are going to find who has the smallest value will be the winner. Oh, which one is showing this part? Output is showing who is the winner. So if I go back to the picture again, you can see player 3 wins. So this part is output. Output represents this part. Output is also a label. So now let's go to see how the code is given. So I'm going to share my screen. Now let's see what the program is doing. To see total scores on the right side for each player. Then on the top, player 4 wins. Then holes in one if you click at each player, how many holes in one they made is on the right side. Then on the output, on the top, it shows the sum of all the holes in ones. So this 17 represents the total ones in this 2D array. Then hardest hole. Each player has a different hardest hole. Very first number 4 is a hardest hole. Oh, and player 4 never had the number 4, so number 3 is the maximum value. So hardest hole is 2. Then on the top, output shows which column has maximum average or maximum sum. So hole number 17 has 4, 4, 4, 3. So this is the max column sum. So this one is the hardest hole. So hole number 17 is on the output. Let's see the given shellcode. Driver is like a regular, it's going to call the panel 13. In your program, you're supposed to change your driver name to like period, whatever, like a period 2, 6, or 7. I'm going to say period 0. Then you need to say last name and first name, then driver 13. That means your panel 13 is also period information, your last name, first name, then panel 13. Then you have save as. After you save as, I highly recommend that you delete the original driver 13. Then panel 13, if you come here, this is a given, but you need to change the file name. I'm going to change my file name to period, last name, first name, and panel 13. Then there's a scorecard 13. Also, I probably need to change it to period, last name, first name, and scorecard 13. If you look at here, line 12, there is a constructor. This one also, you need to change it to the recommended name, period, last name, first name, and panel 13. That's it. Actually, it's not. If you go a little bit more down, you are going to see the scorecard is instantiated. So it's around line 39. You need to change it. So to your recommended name, period, last name, and first name. And scorecard 13. Then let's just see the rest of them. Looks like it's okay. So now I'm going to look at for each one. Listener 1 is for randomized. So in the randomized listener 1, we're going to call scorecard randomized. Then for the output, you don't have to change anything. So you're going to change it back to dot, 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 because you may click other button first. So go back to original, like a reset. Then array is also go back to the original, because you may then listener 2, if you look at the code, it is about the total scores. So listener 2 is for total score. So you can see this one also had, this one is the given code we already looked at, so I'm going to skip it this time. Then listener 3 is for holes in ones. So counting, so this temp is to have the find aces for each row. So each row holes in ones are to the total. Then next time temp will have another number of aces for second row. Then display. Then listener 4 is to find the hardest hole. So you are going to find the hardest hole for each column, each player. That means for each row. Then you are going to show the which one has a maximum sum for the column. So this one represents max of column sum. Now let's look at the what scorecard the 13 has. I need to change the file name first, then your name. Oops. This is wrong at the beginning. Each JText field does not have any value, so you can see that there's no value. It's an empty box. Then each JText field must be added. So each box name is input, row number, and column number. Show new value. But if I just copy this part, what is the difference is instead of input RC equals something, what you are going to do is modify the value. So you are going to do set text. Then set text get on to convert to a string. Then you are going to give random value like star random times 4 plus 1. This is it. So randomize is done. Then find the total. Because row number is already given, you are going to go through only columns. Through only columns for this row number. So you need only one for loop. It's also the same, only for that row. So you are going to need only one for loop, only columns. So I can show one example in some. Then you are going to go through for each column because row number is fixed, only column number will be changed each time. So column, then column is less than. In this case, you can use either one. You can say input 0 dot length or input r dot length. Then you are going to get the value. Oh, you already forgot how to do integer dot parseInt. So I'm going to say row sum plus equal integer dot parseInt. Then I'm going to get the value from the input. Input row number is given as argument r. Then column number is now I got it from the for loop C at get text. Then finally, if you return row sum, you're done. Find the total. And the rest of that, you can think about that. Only the last one, you need nested for loop. So it's very similar from what panel 13 has inside of the action performed. So listener 2, you are going to refer listener 2. You are going to get the column sum, then you are going to find the max. So I can write the hint here. Refer listener 2 in panel, find the column sum, and max. So you probably need to make an array to store each column's sum, and after that you are going to go through the whole column sum array